So apparently the owner came out and had something to say, as well as other people. So let's talk about it. What is up, Fin fans? Yeah, Stephen Ross came out, made his, I guess you could say, statement on what's going on with Brian Flores and the lawsuit. Even John Elway came out. So I'm going to talk about John Elway's. I'm going to talk about Stephen Ross's. And then in a nutshell, I'm going to talk about the whole situation. And obviously there's no facts. There's no proof besides the text messages from Bill Belichick. But I'm just going to run down a few things. So yeah. But before we jump into that, I got to shout out some new members. And Kev Colson and Jeremy Pease. Thank you guys so much for joining the membership. Again, I just want to reiterate this for the members. This is mostly for the members. For the patrons, I post videos straight to Patreon. So you guys will see it when you sign into your Patreon and stuff. But for the members, when I post videos and you guys get early access, or I post videos specifically just for the members, you have to go to the community tab. And the community tab is on the main page, and you'll see it on the top. There's videos about, and then there's the community tab. That's where all the specific membership videos and posts and all that stuff is in the community tab. Just want to let you guys know that. Also, if you guys want to be part of the Discord, let me know. I think I made a video for the patrons. I made a video how to join the Discord, and for the members, just let me know. Let me know in an email. Email me. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about real quick before we jump into this stuff, and it's a funny story. Today, I canceled my Optimum cable, keeping their internet, but their cable is hot garbage. And I was in my town. I had to drive about 15 minutes away to go to the Optimum store to drop it off. And I ended up going around the back of the Optimum store where the trucks are and the warehouse is. And I noticed this guy was walking, and he kind of looked at me weird as I'm driving. I thought nothing of it. Maybe he was like, why the heck is this guy driving back here? You know, I'm supposed to drive back here. So I end up finding where I'm supposed to do, it says customer parking. I park it, and out of my peripherals, I see the same guy slowly walking towards my car. So I'm like, all right. Get out of the car, put my mask on, because you have to wear a mask inside this Optimum store. Go around, grab the two cable boxes, the remotes, and I look up, and through the driver's side window, I see, here he comes still. So I'm like, oh, he might say to me, hey, you're not supposed to drive back there, or hey, just so you know, you can't park here, whatever. Just help me out. So I grab my stuff. I start walking towards the front door, walk around the back of my car, and he walks over to me. He goes, are you Doug? Now, I'm like, all right, do you know me? Do you know me from when I used to be in a band and played shows? Do we go to high school together, college together? How do you know me? And I go, yeah. And he goes, yo, it's JD Dizzle. It's one of you guys. It was one of you guys. JD Dizzle saw me, and this is the first time since I started this, 4 years now, that I've ever got to meet you guys in the real world. Obviously, I met a bunch of you guys at the MetLife Takeover, but this is the first time while I'm out doing something, whether it's food shopping, whatever, I got to meet you guys. So I thought that was really cool, really awesome. So shout out to you, JD Dizzle, meeting me in the parking lot of the Optimum store as I'm dropping off my cable boxes, looking like a homeless man. So shout out to you, JD Dizzle. So let's go into this. Thought give you a nice little fun story before we jump back into the dumpster fire that is what is going on with this organization. So I'm going to talk about what John Elway said first. He came out and he said, while I was not planning to respond publicly to the false and defamatory claims by Brian Flores, I cannot be silent any longer with my character, integrity, and professionalism being attacked. I took Brian Flores very seriously as a candidate for our head coaching position in 2019 and enjoy our 3.5-hour interview with him. Along with the rest of our group, I was prepared, ready, and fully engaged during the entire interview as Brian shared his experience and vision for our team. It's unfortunate and shocking to learn from the first time this week that Brian felt differently about our interview with him. For Brian to make any assumptions about my appearance and state of mind early that morning was subjective, hurtful, and just plain wrong. If I appeared disheveled, as he claimed, it was because we had flown during the middle of the night immediately following another interview in Denver, and we were going on a few hours of sleep to meet the only window provided to us. Interviewed Brian in good faith, giving him the same consideration and opportunity as every other candidate for our head coach position in 2019. So, Brian, if you don't know, Brian Flores essentially said back in 2019 when he met with John Elway and some other guys for the head coaching opportunity in Denver, he felt like they didn't take it seriously. He felt like they were out the night before drinking. He said they looked disheveled, they looked tired, they looked, in other terms, hungover. And he said it was offensive to him that they didn't take that interview seriously. And John Elway came out and said, well, I take offense to you saying that I looked hungover. I was tired. I flew from Denver, I'm assuming, to New England, midnight flight, to make your specific time, because, again, they were in the Super Bowl that time, for the interview and all that stuff. And he said he took it very seriously. So a little pushback from John Elway on Brian Flores. Then we have what the owner, Stephen Ross, said. With regards to the allegations being made by Brian Flores, I am a man of honor and integrity and cannot let them stand without responding. I take great personal exception to these malicious attacks, and the truth must be known. His allegations are false, malicious, and defamatory. We understand there are media reports stating that the NFL intends to investigate his claims, and we will cooperate fully. I welcome that investigation, and I am eager to defend myself, my personal integrity, and the integrity and values of the entire Miami Dolphin organization for these baseless and unfair and disparaging claims. So apparently he felt, where is it? He says it twice. He attacked personally. So that's what Stephen Ross came out and said. He felt his integrity. I'm a man of honor and integrity. I will say this, though, Stephen Ross, and I don't mean to kick you when you're down, and I don't mean to be a little bit of a DB. I'm a man of honor and integrity, yet when Tony Sparano was your head coach, you went and flew to go see Jim Harbaugh to try to steal him from Stanford to be your head coach. And then when that fell through, you essentially gave Tony Sparano a contract extension and then ended up firing him at the end of the year. But you're a man of honor and integrity. I don't know about that one, my man. And I cannot let this stand without responding. But essentially he's coming out, he's saying it's false. You know, the NFL is going to investigate it. I hope they investigate it. We'll give them all the stuff they need. So essentially this is what it's come down to. And I expected this to happen. You know, Brian Flores and his two lawyers coming out and saying all the stuff that they had, I deal in truths. I don't know how many times Brian Flores said that on ESPN. His stuff, then you had John Elway, you had, the Giants, and you have now the Miami Dolphins coming out and saying their stuff, essentially. That didn't happen in any way that you think it happened. Here's my thing about all this, right? Because I don't know anything, right? I don't know the truth. There is no proof as of right now. There's no proof on either side that it did or didn't happen. So as of what I'm going off of is what people are saying. What Stephen Ross said, John Elway said, Mara said, Goodell said, and then what Brian Flores said. This is all we can go off of right now. But there's some things that I'm questioning, right? And this is where I'm confused. And this is where I need facts for. So on the Dolphin side, and this is mostly going to be on the Dolphin side, because that's the only one that really affects me because it's the Dolphins. You had a plan to tank the 2019 season, supposedly. And obviously, the head coach and the GM had that idea, had that plan, because they hired Brian Flores. It wasn't Stephen Ross hired the GM, then hired the head coach. It was that. Why would you hire Brian Flores if he wasn't gung-ho about that plan? Why would you hire him if you needed to then all of a sudden put an incentive of paying him $100,000 a loss? That is where I'm confused, right? That's one aspect that I'm confused, because obviously in the meetings that you have with these head coaches, you talk about, what is your strategy to make the team better? What is the staff that you're going to put together? This is our idea of what we were thinking in the GM wise. How did that not come up? Listen, in 2019, we're going to lose as many games as possible. I want to get the first overall pick, so I have a choice of the quarterback that I want to build this team around. How does that discussion not come about in your head coaching interview? So that's one where I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. The other is, if and I'm not saying that Brian Flores isn't a man of integrity and he doesn't lose. That's not what he does. Because I agree. I think that's why they went 5-11. I think that's why they started Ryan Fitzpatrick. And everyone that kept saying, "Oh, they're tanking, they're tanking, they're tanking, they're tanking," and I kept saying, "I don't see it as tanking. Oh, I can't follow you anymore because you're da 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 da." If they were tanking, why would they sign Ryan Fitzpatrick, who by himself would win games, and he did? Why would they do certain things that they did? And one, I understand the other end, trading certain players, but it just didn't make sense to me. That being said, if you're Brian Flores, and it's true that Stephen Ross came up to you and said, "I will give you $100,000 to lose. Every game you lose, I'll give you $100,000. Take a vacation. Take flights and don't even try coaching, and I will pay you more to do it." If you didn't like hearing that, why would you stay? Now, I understand getting a head coaching job is not easy. I understand that, same reason why Mike McDonald or anybody still might take this Miami Dolphins head coaching job is they're not easy to come by. There's only 32 of them, and there's never 32 available. It's always about 4 or 5 at a time. But that being said, if it really bothered you and if it was really something that messed with your integrity, even the story about potentially meeting Tom Brady, why would you stay? Because Bill Belichick quit on the Jets 3 days after. Not saying it was an integrity and, moral stand on that, but why would you stay? Because obviously if they're asking you to do this now, and if they're asking you to do something that you don't like 2 different times, what's stopping them from continuing to do that, continue to put you in that situation? Why would you stay? So again, there's my question for both sides. Why would you hire him if this was your plan and he didn't want to do it and you had to then essentially pay him? And why would you stay? Right? Those are my 2. The other thing is I'm hearing, Cameron Wolf came out and said that they have witnesses. They have corroborating witnesses, and they, even Greer has, I think, documentation of talking about the bribery for losing. But then they went on Evans and Carton and said that it was more it was heard around the building, the 100,000. So again, there is the 2 different sides, and then there's the change in the story of, well, is there proof? Do you have emails? Do you have all that stuff? Or is it more, it was heard around the building, "Hey, did you hear that, they said to Brian Flores, we'll give you 100,000. I heard that too. And yeah, I heard that too. And oh boy, is it one of those, or is there proof? Is there an email from Greer saying, "Listen, Steven's not happy that you didn't take the $100,000 to lose"? Because if there's that email, that ain't good. If from what I heard that there is physical evidence, that's not good for Stephen Ross at all. At all. So that's where my mind is right now. And again, I've come to no conclusions on who is right and who is wrong when it comes to these 2, because there's no proof. There's no physical evidence, and I'm not one to jump to conclusions. I did the same thing with Josh Rosen. I did the same thing with Tua Tagovailoa. I did the same thing with Brian Flores. I do the same thing with things that need time, right? With Tua, you wanted me to say whether he was a bust or he was the future. There was not enough time nor evidence to say one or the other. People went off of 8 games. Same thing with Brian Flores. He went 10-6. Fantastic. Everyone wanted to crown him the next best thing in Miami. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he bounces back. He went 1-7. Obviously, he bounced back from that. Same thing with Josh Rosen. Never really had a line, never really had a chance. Same thing with Ryan Tannehill. I'm always, give me more proof. Give me evidence so I can now sit back and look at it and make my decision like I did with Tua. That's what I'm doing with this situation. I have nothing. I have hearsay from both sides, and now I'm waiting. Waiting for the emails to leak. I'm waiting for something to happen. Whether there is or there isn't, then I'll make my decision. But I'm giving you guys the information. I'm giving you guys what I have, and I'm letting you guys make your decision. But as of right now, those are the questions I have. Why would you hire Brian Flores if that was your plan, and then you had to end up tricking him or coercing him into doing it. If you're Brian Flores, why would you stay if two different things made you uncomfortable? Leave. You'll get a job somewhere else and you can go back to New England. And then that whole witness situation. Is there witnesses? Is there physical evidence, or is it hearsay? But tomorrow we're meeting with Mike McDaniel. We might get a head coach tomorrow, so I don't know. This is just. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I have a lot planned. I have a lot planned for the members, for the Patreon. When the new year starts, I'm gonna try to get a new intro. I'm debating if I'm gonna unblock people, because I've blocked people. I've blocked people because they've gone after other subscribers for no reason whatsoever. So maybe I'll start fresh on the new year in March. Maybe I'll unblock everybody. We'll see. It's not a lot. I don't block people, but I'll tell you a story. There's a guy who was asking what kind of jersey he should get, and then somebody commented, "What grown man wears another man's name on them?" And then was just completely disgusting. So I blocked him. You don't come after my subscribers. You don't. Not for no reason. Not for anything. So I blocked him. Stay classy and fins up isn't just a funny quote that I came up with at the end. I go by it. Stay classy. You can have conversations without being POSs. But other than that, guys, I will see you probably tomorrow. I'm pretty sure with the Mike McDaniel situation, I'll make a video after that. Hopefully we have a head coach. But other than that, guys, like usual, stay classy and fins up.